My chair's
All
so
right. All right. Welcome to Crossing the Streams, where we answer the universal question. What should I binge watch next? I just watched something and now I got to watch something else. Well, we're here to answer all those questions. This is actually episode 150. I can't believe we've been at 150 shows, which means there's 149 streaming hours on our YouTube channel. That is so many binge watching suggestions for episode 150. We pulled all the punches. We brought in a brand new guest, first time on the show, Tonya Todd. Hey.
Meow. Thank you for having me. And what I'm hearing is that people who don't want to watch something should be binge listening to your series, right?
Yes. Actually, that is 100% true. And then we got Zack returning, friend of the show, returning. He's been on more times than not. So
that is true.
Tonya,
I'm a solid
co-host.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm one of those weird like middle inning pitchers where you're like, look, the starter's got to get out of here, and we're not ready for the closer yet, so we can always bring in this schlub. That's me.
All right, Tonya, tell everyone about all the acting, authoring, all the good stuff you do.
Yes, I am an author, actress, and activist, and as of last October, I am a first-time director.
Woo! And you'll hear all about it on a future episode of Classic Conversations.
That's
Tonya.
right. If you want to know all that, you need to watch his show.
That's right. Very cool. And Zack, what are you up to these days?
Mostly I'm just doing this show. I'm a part of a comedy group called Some Nobodies. Me and my partner Dylan. We have made hours and hours and hours of aggressively funny fictional things. Good evening, person. A dude in the hen house. That's interesting. And actually, we are finally coming back with a live show starting next Monday. We'll be doing more weekly content, bringing some of our weird shows back, and making some stuff. So Dylan and I will be back very soon, and I'm excited about it.
So is it skits or is it stand-up?
It is. It's fictional, weird stuff. Like we have one show that is for the IT department of a sex robot shop, which is a cover for a lot of toxic masculinity jokes. We have a create your own pod venture. We wrote 2 whole series of a show where you listen to episode 1 and you decide which episode to listen to next based on the decisions that you want to make. We also have a show called Talking Upstream where we interview some of our favorite directors and we pitch them ideas and then we create the show together. So we do a bunch of we do a whole bunch of weird stuff, and we're finally getting back at it after a year of taking some time off.
He does a lot of creative stuff. You should get Tonya on your show.
Now that we're doing it again, 100%.
100%. All right, dude in the hen house is Fred Carroll, friend of the show. What's up, Fred? And we got Lee. What's up, Lee? And we got Jerry. Jerry, hope you're feeling good, my friend. And then 150. Oh, thanks, Jerry. I thought we looked only 135 too. That was an interesting conversation I had with someone the other day. I was interviewing them, and we were talking about what age do you actually feel like you are? Not how old are you? Like what do you feel? And so because most people feel like they're much younger than they are. Like in my head,
Wait, how old are you?
Like, I'm 53.
You feel 53?
No, I am 53. I don't. I feel like late 30s.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm at that time in my life where like parts of my body feel older than some other parts. Like my back feels like it's 70, like flat out. But the majority of me is living in that like 32 range, which I'm cool with.
Oh, I am ridiculous.
I feel older. I feel like I have been alive for hundreds of years and retained that knowledge.
I like the way you roll. I am at the point in my life where I do feel young, but if I was at an event, right, like a little networking event, and I
Ooh.
dropped something. I dropped something on the ground, and I
Was
had
it
to
a
pick it
name?
up. I had to pick. No.
Wait, you don't
physical
have
thing.
people for that?
I don't. Not at this particular party. They
Oh,
were.
well, you should do something about that.
I had to literally lower myself down, like like with the knees, pick it up, and then bring myself back up, knowing that if I had just leaned for it, there was an 87% chance I wouldn't have made it back up. You
don't look old enough for that to be a concern.
Well, it's actually been a problem. I don't do it because I do it because it has been a problem. Like, oh man, it's probably been 15 years.
How often do you stretch?
Well,
Good question. Good
Yeah,
question.
there's our answer.
Yeah.
The answer is stretch. Let's just say I stretch as often as I floss.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
He's all based on that reaction. Just kidding.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. You guys, obviously, I floss.
Jerry's his dentist, so Jerry's watching this.
I was gonna go
No,
floss right after this, and no, we went. I had done a lot of weeding, like literally, weeding in the garden. This is weeding.
Is that what you call it now? Is that what the kids are calling it?
Well, no, because you're leaning weird when you do weeding. You lean. I used to be really into my yard, so I was like, you're stretching weird, you're grabbing things weird. And then we drove to Pennsylvania for a family event. We're all staying in this big suite, like the bunch of us, the families, and so there's a kitchen. So I go, oh, look, a kitchen. I go, I wonder what's in this cabinet. And I lean down and open the cabinet. That was the end of my trip. I literally was on the bed on my back. It would to move 2 inches, and this is not even a joke, would take 2 hours for me to even just move 2 inches. And then my wife, who didn't even want to be there, was stuck with me in this room while the entire family was at the family event. She was not happy with me.
So I recommend incorporating regular stretching into your life so that this is not a thing that happens again.
Yeah.
All right, Tonya. All right. Is that like yoga? Is yoga stretching? Is that
It is, but it doesn't even have to be that intense as yoga.
Just stretch, Jeff.
I'll send you videos.
Okay, send me videos.
just stretch.
I see stuff on TikTok all the time. Like I can in 1 month I could be fine just exercising on my chair.
Right.
There's so much. I mentioned in the previous episode how I had gone down TikTok and TikTok. Remember, Zack was fascinated by this because he was doing a shark movie. But I got somehow into great white shark killing stories TikTok. Like somehow I listened to one story and then now it's every third story is Zack and Tonya were 150 meters. It's always meters. It's never
a lot of meters.
It's never feet. And they're always like it was a 14-foot, 2.3 kilo. I mean, it's like they're always like I never listen. Only in the stories where somebody's about to get murdered violently by an animal do they take into consideration the different measurements involved. And so, but somehow that rabbit hole led me down to hippo killing.
Oh, geez.
TikTok. Yeah, which is
second biggest killer of humans.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. They kill like 500 humans. And they can run. It was insane. They're in the water. It's a video of a hippo running in the water. These things weigh 4,000 pounds.
Yeah, but they
and
it's ballet underwater.
It's like
they're just jerks too.
Yeah, they're not. It's not nice.
No, if you ever go to a zoo and you see a hippo, whenever it goes like number 2, it is the only animal in the world that will actively like slap with its tail and just spray its feces everywhere. It's just like the jerk. Oh, so mean. Just rude.
Yeah, hippos. Yeah.
And they kill people, but yeah.
So I have to ask you guys: have you guys seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I've seen episodes, but I have not seen the show.
Everybody talks about it. It's like it's been on for 16 seasons or something like that.
Watch it.
And so we started watching it, and I can't tell if I like it or not. I can't tell if it's just like it's a very uncomfortable show to watch. The characters are like there's nothing redeeming about these characters. I don't know if it eventually. I'm in season 2. We made it.
You're
season
already
one-
there and you're still watching it.
Well, season 1 was very short, and then season 2 was like when they bring in DeVito. So I think they kind of. I was like, oh, okay, let's see. But it's just all like. I mean, it's funny. I like the humor, but it's also like I'm not sure I'm laughing enough to justify 16 seasons.
Yeah, I can't even say that I've
it.
really watched episodes. It's really more like people who love the show will be like, you have to watch this part at least. Like, watch this scene, watch this. This part's funny. You're like, okay, that was funny, but I'm not going to sit through this entire series of people that I don't like.
And that's what's wrong with this show. And I think it's like Rick and Morty as well, where like if the wrong person suggests something and they say, oh my God, Zach, you're gonna love the show, but I hate that person, I will actively never watch that show. I will never watch Always Sunny because some guy named Joe Heaster, who I absolutely hate.
Wow, you're just outing him.
He looked me dead in my soul and was like, Zach, I know you. You will love this show. And I'm like, no way.
You don't know me and I won't.
You don't know me. I hate every second of your lifespan. Like I cannot watch that show. So I hope it's funny. I mean, I've heard it's funny, but I cannot watch it because of Joe Heaster. Yeah, I hope he's watching. No.
Interesting that you know how to spell it, though.
That is true. That's actually correct. I looked at it. Oh man, he actually spelled it right.
I'm like, oh, keep talking.
Watch that live.
That's funny.
Oh man. So all right, so we have a fab show. Marcy, if you're watching, we hope you're feeling better. Marcy wasn't feeling good, so she had to bail out today.
Wait,
but
what was Marcy?
I'm really sad she isn't here because you guys could have been rocking your baseball caps and we could have been rocking the curls.
Oh,
I know
Marcy's
we'll have you back when Marcy's
Next
here.
time.
So we'll have full on.
I'll put my curls.
Marcy was gonna talk about the judge.
Oh,
yeah. So it was either that or the palms. So
see,
one of the
Marcy has this interesting way where like she knows how to do the perfect spoiler-free review.
Yeah, I was going to say, we say next time, but we don't know that I'm going to be invited back because
you're invited.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle this.
Well, the way Marcy does her spoiler-free reviews is one of 3 ways. One, her internet cuts out halfway through her review, so you have no idea how it ends.
Oh.
2, she doesn't watch the last half an hour of a movie or the show, so she doesn't even know how it ends.
So she can't spoil it for you.
She can't spoil it. No, she's absolutely perfect. I love her. I was upset she wouldn't be here.
So, oh, by the way, breaking news: Vanessa Hudgenson won The Masked Singer. So, breaking news.
Oh,
so
I
Are you
learned
multitasking right now?
Yeah.
So she was the goldfish, apparently. Yeah, she's a good singer. She was in High School Musicals. The High School Musicals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the High School Musicals were because they were when they did Grease 2. They were that was going to bring like a whole franchise of Grease
with Michelle Pfeiffer.
TV shows.
The Superior Grease.
Oh, do you like that one better? Oh, we can talk about
it's the feminist version. If you
they
watch
flip
it,
the script. They flip it.
She has all of the power, and she doesn't ask him to change who he is to be with her. Unlike Danny Zuko, who's like, I can't be with you because you're not cool. She accepts both sides of him and elevates him rather than saying, I only want you if you're this and not yourself.
Yes, that is true.
Not that I put any thought into it at all.
No, we could. I wish we could. You'll come back and we'll talk all about Grease
let's
too.
Tear down Grease.
I love Grease too. I love Grease too.
Let's tear down Grease 1.
Well,
hey, Grease is fun. Like I love the movie, but in essence, it's just like The Little Mermaid, where it's saying, "Hey, if you want to have this boy, you have to stop being yourself."
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, I mean, to get the boy, it didn't hurt for her to have legs.
Yeah, but also he's a liar, right? Danny Zuko,
right? He's a liar.
He's a liar, and he's a bad dude.
He can dance and he's cute, but he's still a liar.
Yeah, look, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, that's true. He does have some moves, and he looks great in those pants.
Well, I think
he is a liar, and I can't handle that.
Man.
I think though we're forgetting at the end when she comes out and she's like, how you doing, hot stuff,
No,
right?
she
And
said,
like,
"Tell me about it."
oh,
Stud.
yeah, that's right. Tell me about it. So thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then she throws down the zip, right? And she's getting sewn into those pants, basically. But he kind of changed a little bit too. He was wearing the
He was going to, and then he's
yeah.
like, "Never mind."
right.
No,
He
yeah,
was
no.
going to, but of the
No.
two, she definitely looked better that way than he did as
True.
the jock. But
Yeah.
anyway, but yes. And do you know, just one last thing on Grease too? In London, there is a play called Cool Rider where they turned it into a play,
Oh.
a musical. Yeah, they turned it into a
I
musical.
would love to see that.
They turned Grease into a musical.
Grease 2.
No, Grease 2.
Oh, Grease 2. Oh, okay.
Well, it's technically already a musical.
Yeah.
Right, it's already a musical. But well, I mean, but yeah, but they made it turned into a play. So it was like
But it inspired Cool.
Yeah.
Cool
It's like
Rider.
I guess it's like it just is celebrating its 10th year. And Max Caulfield,
Maxwell
who is
Coulter, yeah.
Maxwell Caulfield, is actually playing Tab Hunter's part in the play in this 10th anniversary.
Oh, interesting.
So they'll be singing reproduction.
you know the songs.
I know all the songs. Where does the pollen go? I know all of them. Prowlin and all of them. I know everything. We're gonna score tonight. I feel like I got Cool Rider is great though. I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, it gets a little. Anyway, okay, I could go on. I could go on and on. I could go on. But all right. Spoiler. The reason this is all top of mind is I interviewed someone from Grease 2, so I like it was a big. It's coming out soon. I don't.
Is it Adrian's man?
I don't know. I'm not gonna say.
Oh,
But
okay.
I will say that
Whoa.
I said to this person, I go, my favorite line in the movie is "It's Michael." You know, when at the end when
Frenchie.
they reveal, yeah. And so anyway, okay, all good. All right, so we got some good stuff last week, episode 149, the episode before the huge episode 150 that you're experiencing at this moment. We talked about Ricky Stenicki. Is it Sisu? Sisu? Sisu, Baby Reindeer, Late Night with the Devil, and Shark Side of the Moon. I will say Baby Reindeer, somehow they found the real Martha.
Yeah.
I don't know if you haven't watched Baby Reindeer, it's like the greatest show ever. It's really, really good. It's really dark and disturbing, but it's really, really good. And now she's all on Piers Morgan. I don't know. I guess it wasn't that hard to find her. They found her like in 15 minutes. The internet. Just Google someone who talked about this person on their Facebook a lot, and they broke that code pretty quick.
I want to say I saw that episode, and I applaud you for giving your friend crap about showing the wrong version of Lion King to his children as their first Lion King. Like, why would you show them that lifeless version with no expression? Why would you hurt them like that? And I applaud you for saying something. You're a good friend.
Yeah, and then speaking of Lion King, they're making a Mufasa prequel, and I guess
I learned that on your show.
Yeah. And I guess Elton John's all upset now. I just read that because they didn't even ask him to do the music. He handed them gold.
Audacity.
They handed him gold for the other one. Anyway, all right. So speaking of gold, we're going to talk about Bratz, the movie. I mean, it's about time. And moving. And we're not usually on the cutting edge of new releases. We are. I felt I was drawn to Unfrosted. So we'll talk about Unfrosted. So let's kick things off with Bratz. And then we'll Tonya, you'll go next. But we'll let Zack talk about why he even watched this movie.
Why are you judging?
Yeah. So once again, I have a writing partner, and his name is Dylan, and we like to do a lot of comedic bits. We like to put each other in weird situations and see how we can handle it. I told him that I was doing the show, and I asked him to give me a movie quickly because I watch too much stuff, and he made me watch Bratz, the movie, which I did not know existed. But it's okay because I found out that it came out in 2007, and that is prime time for movies that do not exist. If a movie came out in 2007, trust that you have not heard of it, you have not seen it. I don't understand how 2007 existed when it comes to movies. The best movie I think in 2007 was the number 23, or maybe Ghost Rider. I have no idea, but it's awful. Either way, so I watched Bratz, and then he told me that he was going to rate my review for me. So here we go, and I have not read it yet, but I tell you, I did not like the movie Bratz. Here's my biggest problem with the movie Bratz. They're not brats. Like, to me, a brat is like a bratty kid, right? These girls are nice. But here we go. Now, if you've ever wondered what it would look like to have your brain slowly melted by a toxic cocktail of saccharine dialogue, over-the-top fashion disasters, and plot holes large enough to swallow a limousine, look no further than Bratz. In what can be described as a 2-hour commercial for every shade of pink imaginable, Bratz attempts to follow our friends Yasmin, Chloe, Sasha, and Jade, who navigate the treacherous waters of high school cliques. Spoiler alert, they do so by employing a kind of logic used reserved for cartoon characters and possibly goldfish. Despite a $20 million budget, this movie appears to have spent about $19 million of it on sparkly outfits and Jon Voight's paycheck. That's right, Jon Voight's in this. Leaving little things for, like, I don't know, script development, coherent direction, and any form of subtlety. Voight, who also has owed someone a serious favor, delivers a performance that suggests he was bewildered by his own presence on set as much as the audience was. The trivia surrounding Bratz is it's as entertaining as the film tries to be. For instance, it's baffling to note that director Sean McNamara, also responsible for Soul Surfer, managed to craft a movie that has more waves of nausea than inspiring surf. Okay, Dylan is awful. Okay, we've been out of the thing for quite a while, and Dylan is obviously making a mockery of Jeff's show and how I review movies. All I can say is the part about Bratz that I did like was the ending. It wraps up the movie as chaos with a sugary bow, much like how you'd expect from a film that feels like a 2-hour commercial for bedazzled accessories. I'm not sure why this movie exists. It's based on a toy line that came out. I'm done with the script. It was annoying to me anyway. But the toy line came out, and it was supposed to be an anti-Barbie thing, where it was like, well, these are powerful girls of today, and they don't just wear everyday clothes. But for some reason, they took everything that Bratz was about and then put it into a movie that was more of a YA novel. And I just don't like that. I think that if you're gearing towards any dynamic of a character, whether it is young girls, young women, young boys, anything at all, if you're trying to give them a story, then you have to understand what the content is to begin with. Bratz is inspiring because it wasn't just a white woman trying to do things. It was all different aspects. It was all different colors of what a reality could be. And they were also had an attitude. They weren't good girls. And that's what I like about the dolls. They were kind of punks. They were brats. Like, they know that they deserved a world that was better. And that's what I appreciated. In this movie, they just give them all the same exact characteristics, the same exact point of view. And I just don't think that girls need to be seeing that. I think that girls, anybody really, boys, girls, anybody watching anything should be inspired by what they see. And if they know a product for what it is, then it should be based on what that product is supposed to be based on, not just the fact that it sells. So please do not watch this movie, Bratz. Do not look it up. It is on YouTube for free. It's not fun, bad. Honestly, if anybody knows how I feel about the Fast and Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious is one of my favorite movies of all time. I would love it. Two Bratz, Too Furious, and I will make that happen. Either way, I watched the movie Bratz so that you don't have to, and please don't do it.
That would be a great spin-off show. We watched it so you don't have to.
Yeah, let me watch it so you don't have to, and I'm going to hate it.
Confused. I was like, wait, I thought we were supposed to bring a show that we liked.
Well, generally we do, but...
But he felt very passionately about this.
Well, yeah. So
well, we don't lie too. I mean, like if we watch something and we don't like it, we'll say, we didn't really like it.
Yeah,
so it's okay to do that too.
Now the thing
I didn't watch Bratz, so I couldn't possibly speak to what kind of movie it is.
I go into every movie looking to just be entertained. I don't expect anything out of movies. If you want to give me some kind of meaning, if you want to give me a story, I'll take it. But I go into it just to be entertained. And immediately when you watch something, you're like, oh God, what's happened? What are you guys doing here? This doesn't make any sense. Like then I start to question everything about it. And then when you realize that it is a movie based on toys and it is based on just selling toys, but they don't really give you the heart of what the toy is. So I will hate a movie as much as I love movies. I love watching bad movies. I like hating movies. I like all
what
kinds
made
of
you
movies.
finish it?
Tonya, the definition of Zack hating a movie means he only watched it 3 times.
That's true. That's true.
Like that's what means he hated it. If he likes it, it gets 5. The first one's just
Seriously.
to watch it. Second time is to look for nuance and lighting.
Mhm.
Second time is he can better tell you.
So you study movies that you hate as well as movies that you love.
Yeah, to me, the majority of people that get a chance to make a movie, there has to be art in there. You know, like you want to make a movie. Like, what is it about this movie? Like, you're a director. Like, you first-time director, you looked at it, you're like, I want to do this. I want to show this. I want to make people feel this. I want to give these visuals. There's something about that job that I feel comes with a level of, well, show me something. Like you want to show me, you have the ability of putting things into my eyeballs. That is a rare opportunity, and I love everyone that gets the chance to do it. And I respect everyone. Like Dylan and I tried, we made our own little short film, and I loved every bit of it. But making that made me realize, like, movies are they're love letters to something. Like anybody who picks up a camera and wants to tell a story has that in their heart, you know. And then for some movies, you watch it and you're like, well, there's absolutely zero heart in this. There's nothing in this but the fact they're just trying to sell something, and that hurts my feelings. You know, it really, it genuinely
exactly
does.
How you've made it sound like it's a movie about toys. You've answered your question. That's why they made it. And
I give these people my life. I pay with hours of my life to be entertained, or to learn something, or to feel something, or to cry at great movies, or to tell my wife I love her more than I obviously should because something got into me, or to call my dad like the Iron Claw did. You know, like I want something to come out of every movie experience that I watch. And when a movie just doesn't try to do anything, it's upsetting because there's so many people involved. And this is something that somebody could see and be like, I want to make movies because of this. Like somebody is going to watch whatever you just made and is going to say to themselves, I need to make a movie because I want to show somebody this part of my heart. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And I would love the chance to make a movie. And some people just squander it. You know, I think that they throw it in the sewer to make money, and that's upsetting to me. Yeah. But I love movies. I love all movies, even ones I hate, because I like the process.
All right. Awesome. All right. Let's move on. We have a very special treat for episode 150. First time guest, and I'm sure future friend of returning to the show, Tonya. Todd is going to talk about Moving, which you can get on Hulu or Disney Plus. I'm going to let Tonya take it away.
So this is it's a series. It's not a movie.
Series.
And it's about, I think it's 20 episodes long. And it doesn't sound very exciting. It's like, it's called Moving. We're like, what could that possibly be? But did you ever watch the show Heroes?
Yes. So
it's a South Korean version of that.
Which seasons?
The first season. Before it got stupid.
Yeah, not with Blood Rain or whatever.
It's amazing. Yeah, Heroes in itself. This is what I talk about. We could flip on a tangent all of a sudden. But like Heroes season 1 is one of the greatest seasons of anything. Like my wife loved it. And what I mean by that is she's not into like the comic books and all that kind of stuff. And that season 1 transcended that. It brought anyone in because the storytelling was so good. And then they just somehow fell off a cliff.
And that's the thing about this show. Like I watch superhero stuff all the time. You know, I like watching anime. I'm a big fan of My Hero Academia. I like these shows, but you know, some of them take it more seriously than others. This wasn't about the powers that people had. This was about the relationships between the characters. And it was children and their parents. It was friends, it was, partners. Some of it was romantic, but that none of those one things was it. It's like the relationships between all of these characters, and then a distrust for the government, whether it's your government or the opposing government. They start off, you don't know who to trust. They make everybody seem suspicious at first. And even in the first episode, there's gory death. So you get action, you get the relationships, you get the curiosity of what is happening and why is it happening. And one of the most exciting things was you're growing with these characters, you're learning what they can do as they learn what they can do. And then about episode 8, the series does something that I typically hate, which is go into a flashback episode. Like, tell the story that is happening right now. That's such a crutch. Why are you going back in time? And not only did this do a flashback, it did a flashback within a flashback. So at the beginning of that episode, I was, why? And by the end of that episode, I was more invested in this side tangent story than the original series. Like I was so in.
Whoa.
Sounds amazing.
Like if it had just been about that, the show would have been amazing. But because it was that on top of what we already saw, it was just so cool.
Wow.
This thing's won a lot of awards too, apparently.
Has things, it shows you the power in a mother's disappointment, the power in a father's love, the motivations between characters, what people will sacrifice to protect the people that they love.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm always a character I call Korean Mork. Are you familiar with Mork and Mindy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a character who reminds me of Mork.
Oh, cool. Yeah, apparently they won an award for best visual effects. And I'll say, as far as the series goes, whenever they have to show superpowers, that's one of the areas they kind of like lessen up a little bit on the special effects. Or would you say the special effects are really good in this?
It was, and it's like, look, how are there Marvel series that are some of the special effects are lackluster with all the money they have backing those?
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm a huge Marvel fan, but I'm going to critique them where they're not meeting the standard. This, didn't have nearly as much money put into it, but they still took the time to tell a good story and make it look good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this looks great.
This is a good hidden gem you have brought to us.
Yeah, I never go on Hulu. I mean, I pay for it for some reason, and I look at that app and I'm like, unless it's guys.
But I think it's available on Disney as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but for Disney, it's weird because Disney, there's no commercials, right? But Hulu, you have to sit through commercials.
Yeah.
Always Sunny is on Hulu. That's where I watch.
Talk about It's Always Sunny.
That's all I talk about. I'm obsessed.
Wait, is that your new Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I know about it, well, we thought it might have been,
Okay.
but I think I'd rather watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine again, to be honest. It's so good. Awesome. All right. Great job, Tonya.
Good job.
So I think this will be a fun one. Okay, so all right, let's do our final show. This is Unfrosted. This is the movie that is taking America by storm. So some of you may remember that Jerry Seinfeld had a very popular sitcom, I don't know, decades ago. And then Larry David made, some people would arguably say maybe a better version of that with Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Way better.
That just ended after a million seasons. So Jerry Seinfeld has written and directed this new Netflix movie called Unfrosted. Now, Unfrosted is the story, the origin story of Pop-Tarts. And, there's been a lot of, there's been like Tetris lately and like BlackBerry. There's been a lot of movies of like the origins of things that we all enjoy. So before I get though into the one thing to understand is Unfrosted is a satire. It is a joke. It's not meant to be real in any way. It's probably has some elements of the truth to it, but it is a flat out farce satire. But before I get to that, actually, I think when I came up with the idea for Crossing the Streams, it was originally one or two early episodes of my podcast, and Ron and Howard came on. And one of the shows I talked about during those episodes was a TV show called The Food That Built America. Now, I think at the time I'd only seen season 1, and apparently there's like 5 seasons. But this is what it is it's fascinating. And it's the actual true stories of not necessarily Pop-Tarts, but Heinz, Hershey, Kellogg. So I guess in essence, it is a little bit Kellogg, Post, the McDonald's brothers, KFC, and they tell you Coca-Cola, and they tell you how all of these things that are basically just part of our world came to be, and the origin stories, and some of those stories are kind of crazy. So if you're very interested in actual history and some of things like that, go watch that. Now, let's talk about the best thing about Unfrosted is that it is only 90 minutes. Okay. Now, I've never seen a movie. This is written by Jerry Seinfeld, and he co-wrote it with Spike Ferenstein, Barry Marder, and Andy Robin. That is his writing team. And let me just say, for so many people to have written this, shame on that. But so I mean, this is why Beyonce has so many people writing on her song. No, but I'm kidding. But here's the thing: this movie has been savaged, like horrible. Like I think this was like there were big people on TikTok that talk about movies and stuff, and they go, "I watched 50 movies this week." And they'll do the review and they'll go Unfrosted. Yeah, didn't watch that. I mean, there are people that watch everything and didn't watch this.
So it's getting trashed.
It's getting trashed beyond. Now it's got a 44% Rotten Tomato. That's the reviewers, and 51% audience score. I'm here, however, to somewhat defend the movie. I'm not here to tell you it's a great movie. I'm not here to tell you it's a good movie. I'm here to tell you that the mistake everyone made while watching Unfrosted, this 90-minute satire movie, was that they watched it like it was supposed to be a movie. And I think if you lower your expectations and think of it more, I was trying to think, but this, if you think of it more as, do you remember the level of quality and detail when we were younger and there would be a movie on TV made for TV? I'm talking about channel 2, 4, or 7. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, and you'd watch that movie and it'd be like, wow, this would have never been in the theater, but this was an enjoyable 90 minutes or 2 hours with commercials. I watched Unfrosted on my couch, half asleep, barely paying attention, and loved it. So but here's the thing. We all need this kind of movie in our lives. This is not it's Friday night. This is the crowning jewel of the end of our week and our Friday night or Saturday night. This is not that movie. This is Sunday. You've got a little bit of a headache, but you need the TV on. You need something going just to entertain you enough. And Unfrosted is the answer. This has a place, but I think people were looking at it as like, oh, let's watch Godzilla -1. Amazing. Now let's watch Unfrosted. Oh, this is garbage. Yes. Yes. In that sense,
why would you do that to yourself?
In that sense, it is garbage. But it's one of those things where it should have been great. The talk about this movie should have been that, oh, this is the funniest thing. This was brilliant. There's pieces. You can see pieces like Bill Burr as JFK. I could watch a whole spin-off of being JFK. Like the 3 guys that play Snap, Crackle, and Pop, Mikey Day, Kyle Mooney, and Drew Tarver. They're in it for maybe 90 seconds, and every 90 seconds of that is the best. Now, I will say that the worst part of Unfrosted, where I think this whole movie could have had a whole different spin and perhaps perception given to it, Jerry Seinfeld should not have starred in this movie. Fine that he wanted to write it and direct it. That's great. He just wasn't a good enough actor to carry this movie. He's just, he's fine in Seinfeld where he's like, like ensemble.
Where he's playing himself.
Yeah, that's short. It's just like Melissa McCarthy was great. Jim Gaffigan again was hilarious. Amy Schumer. Here's the thing. Amy Schumer was being supposed to be funny by not being funny. And like, you need somebody who's just naturally, I'm not saying I'm not making a judgment on Amy Schumer. There's plenty of stuff train wrecked and she's funny, but there's a difference between people who just ooze funny and that are funny. Will Ferrell would be an oozer, right? Like, I think Melissa McCarthy oozes funny. Jim Carrey in his heyday oozed funny. Robin Williams was just, some people are just hilarious. They're always hilarious. You know what I mean? And then there's some people like, when they act, they can be funny and they can do funny stuff. Anyway, Amy Schumer, I think, just didn't do it for me in this role. But there was like funny things, they're creating Pop-Tarts, which don't need milk. So there's this underground milk syndicate led by Christian Slater. There is no shortage of huge names in every aspect of this movie. It's not like these are a bunch of unknowns. They're like everyone. Bobby Moynihan is amazing. There's just some crazy James Marsden is Jack LaLanne for no reason. Dan Levy is Andy Warhol for like no reason. Jack McBrayer, he was the page on 30 Rock, is Steve Schwinn of the Bicycle Schwinns for no reason. I mean, I can't believe that these are actually part of the story and they just bring them in. I think because it was during that period. But I don't know, Cedric the Entertainer, Fred Armisen. There's an amazing scene with John Hamm and John Slattery where they basically are their Mad Men characters. That was kind of funny. But so there's pieces of it, like the Walter Cronkite guy, funny. There's pieces of it. And I got to say, I'll give my Oscar for this movie to Hugh Grant, who plays Tony the Tiger, as a very Shakespearean actor who's just taking on the role of Tony the Tiger.
That might make it worth watching right there.
Yeah,
he is funny. And now they mock the January 6th thing, which was I thought a little interesting choice. But there's pieces of it. And like I said, if you don't watch this as a good movie, and I know that's a ridiculous thing to say, but if you know this just is a farce and like it's just you got some funny actors that you all like coming in doing stuff, and if you're kind of not paying attention, it's funny. And I'm going to try and watch it again because here's the thing. Like there was the Kaylee Cuoco movie on Prime, the one where she's like an assassin. You probably never heard of it because it was the worst movie ever. Like 5 minutes into that movie, I wanted to kill myself. Like I hated this movie. Now there are people that in their reviews say that about this movie, but I didn't get that feeling. I didn't get that immediate trigger. Like I had Matt Napo was watching this. He said, I was in a bad mood. I put this on and kind of was in a better mood after watching it. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not great. I don't think it's as horrible. You just got to watch it for what it is. Don't go in and think, you know what it is? It's a Saturday Night Live sketch that's too long, which I know is a funny thing to say because all Saturday Night Live sketches are too long.
But it's with all those actors too.
Right. And so that's kind of the thing. So I don't know. It's got to sit with me for a little bit. I don't recommend anyone run out and watch it. But like I said, if you're like sitting around, I don't know if you guys have these kind of movies or shows where it's like, if like my wife, let's say my wife happens to be making dinner or something and so there's 20 minutes. So I'll put something on and I'll watch it knowing I'm only going to watch 20 minutes and I'll pick it up again later. Like I literally that's as much as I care about it. I just fill it in when I don't have time and no one else is around to be with me. And this is the perfect movie for that.
That movie that's Parasite for me.
Yeah, this is not a glowing review, but it's not, I think it is what it is. Like you said, you can find the nuggets in it. You guys may watch it and go, he's crazy. This is the worst piece of shit ever. But yeah, it is kind of fun. It's interesting though. They do point this out in the Post, Marjorie Post, who took over and was a brilliant woman and did, frozen vegetable. I mean, like, invented so many things, which you can learn about in the other documentary I mentioned. She took over from her father, and but she built Mar-a-Lago.
Oh,
Yeah, she actually built Mar-a-Lago. That was something she did. So, yeah, it's. I do wish. I think Amy Schumer is a weak point. I think Jerry Seinfeld's a weak point. It's unfortunate because you watch it and you're like, oh, this really could have been like one of those just gems that just came out of nowhere, and
They
it's
dropped
not. It's not. But if you put it in the right perspective, I think you can get through it and enjoy it for what it should have been.
so for some reason, like the only thing this and I haven't watched it yet. I looked at it on Netflix. I'm like, I don't know. I'll get back to that. But it reminded me just the idea of like the creation of like a cereal or a breakfast food. Do you remember that movie, Road to Wellville, which was about like the Kellogg family and how they would like do like cereal enemas? Do you remember that movie in like the 90s?
Oh, I did not see that.
Oh, it has like Anthony Hopkins in it. And it's actually a very good cast. It's a very good movie, but it's about like the Kellogg brothers and how they thought about fiber for breakfast. But I don't know. That was the only thing that I could relate to this, and I was hoping that Jeff had seen that so that he could compare them, but he had not. So,
oh look, hey Tina Marie, what's up? Yes, it is totally a farce.
hey, Tina Marie. So you have to watch it knowing that it's 100% not real.
It's 100% not real. It's 100% not great. It's really silly and goofbally and over the top, and some interesting choices are made. But if you like, this would have been a great. What I kind of decided. I was trying to think like, how could this have been great? This would have been great as I don't know, do the math, 90 minutes divided by, I don't know, 8 minutes or whatever, whatever that is, almost 10 to 12.
You didn't tell me math was involved.
I know. 10 to 12 episodes. Like if they released it on YouTube, it's like, these are just 8-minute shorts.
Well, that's kind of like what you were saying. Just watch it in 20-minute increments.
Yeah, right? It was like, then it would have been, I think, much different, because it doesn't come across as like, I don't know, there's just something, it just misses when you try and compare it to an actual movie that's a movie. It's like,
it sounds like a lot of work to enjoy though, so I'm not sure I'll give it a chance.
Well, you can give it 20 minutes. You'll know in 20 minutes. You'll know in 10 minutes, I think, if you can deal with it or not. It's just like a lot of, I love Melissa McCarthy, so like I can watch her do anything. Jim Gaffigan's just a little over the top goofball. Hugh Grant is hilarious when he does show up. Peter Dinklage is in it. He's funny. Bill Burr, Bobby Moynihan is Chef Boyardee. They have like all the characters that, from the years. So, which is interesting.
Sounds like it would be good to just watch scenes from it.
It probably is. It probably would be. Yes. If they start releasing stuff like that, that would be gold. Actually, that's when the Kaylee Cuoco movie that I hated, when they tried to do that, when they tried to make that movie look good in 90-second snippets, it made me even madder. Because I'm like, this is such a bad movie, and I love Kaylee Cuoco, so don't get I just that's what made
like we were talking about the Phantom Menace earlier. That the movie itself was not spectacular, but the trailer was, and it made it look like the most amazing movie.
Right. Until you get there and it's like, oh, what? It's about trade disputes? I waited.
Taxation blockades?
Yeah. A disruption can only mean one thing, or whatever. Wow. Oh, man. But Keira Knightley was in that, so she was whatchamacallit's
Natalie
double.
Portman.
Natalie Portman's double, yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, I think we served the world well today. I think we gave them some good information to go on.
Yep. Don't watch Bratz. Maybe watch Unfrosted, and definitely check out Moving on Hulu.
All right, Tonya, tell everyone where they can find you and when your upcoming projects are released and what they can do and all that. I
am across social media at MsTonyaTodd.com. I have a website. I have a Comics Lit essay collection coming out in October, but it's available for pre-order now. and then watch my IMDb to find out what's going on with the movie I directed. We're going to be hitting the festival scene as soon as we're finished editing. We're getting really close. I did pickup shots like last week. It's looking really good, but it's not quite ready yet.
Awesome. And Jerry is now a super fan. So
That's hard to
Meow,
do.
Jerry.
I've been on the show 100 times and he doesn't like me yet.
Tina, you can Fallout's supposed to be good. You can come on the show and talk about Fallout, Tina.
Yeah.
I think I mean spelled but spelled
That's
wrong.
All right.
But it's still the feelings there. The feelings.
Oh yeah.
So awesome. All right, Zach, tell everyone where they can catch up with you.
Yeah, if you're looking for me and the weirdness, you can look under Some Nobodies. We're everywhere. But more importantly, the season 3 of Jack Billings Presents The Haunted Apartment Complex just dropped a couple weeks ago. So check that out. I'm a voice actor on that. And my name is Adam Lynch. And I'm a ghost who wants to stab butts. So please check out Jack Billings Presents Haunted Apartment Complex. It is too funny for me to even be on. So check that out.
If I was a ghost, I think I would want to have a feather and just tickle people right here.
Yeah.
So you would be an annoying ghost. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. So annoying.
That would actually, well, now that you say that, now it makes me sad that I'm annoying.
Yeah. Now you're sad. Now you're sad annoying
If you
ghost.
go to us, I would be really annoying.
Yeah. I would almost wake people up.
We love you too, Tina. All right, we'll connect soon. Okay. All right. So what do I got? Upcoming episodes. Don't have a date yet, but Tonya Todd will be a guest on my podcast. And this week's is with Rebecca Staub. I wish Sal was still around because she stars in a lot of Hallmark movies. And I'm like, hey, Sal, do you know? Rebecca has probably been in a lot of. Sal loved all those rom-coms and movies. So, but Rebecca Staub was also the original Sue Storm. So I have like this minor obsession that's been growing over the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie. I had Mr. Fantastic on, Alex Hyde White, who played the original Mr. Fantastic, and that was a little bit ago. And then Rebecca's on, and they're all talking about the making of the movie and all that kind of stuff. And then on Monday is my trilogy is complete of the Fantastic Four, where I have the original Dr. Doom, Joseph Pope, will be on the show. And so we'll have, that'll be my whole Fantastic Four. I Roger Corman Fantastic Four homage.
Yeah, when I watched that the documentary on that, what was it called? Doomed, I think.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Doom, I was like, I want to talk to this man for hours. He seemed so nice and so interesting. I'm super excited for that episode, Jeff. That's cool.
Yeah, he's a real guy. He's Robert Culp's son.
Cool.
Yeah,
wow.
From I Spy or Greatest American Hero. So, so pretty cool. We talk a lot about that as well. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. So all good. Awesome. All right, Tonya, you'll be back. Zach, thanks for joining us again. And I think that's it. We'll see you guys next time. Episode 150 is in the books. Books.
Done, baby.
All right. Hang on a second. I'm going to put a little music on and see us out.
Go and watch the Bratz.